The plateau of latent potential. Why creator growth looks flat right before it breaks open. The flat line before a breakthrough isn't a warning sign, it's basically physics. There's a species of bamboo that spends its first 4 or 5 years doing, as far as anyone can see, absolutely nothing. No stalk, no visible growth. Just a patch of dirt that looks exactly the same in year 1 as it does in year 4. Then, in a matter of weeks, it shoots up 60-90 feet. What actually happened underground for those years was a root system spreading wide enough to support that explosion. The plant wasn't stalled, it was building capacity that had no visible expression yet. Creator growth follows the same curve more often than anyone admits. You post consistently, you ship products, you answer DMs, and the number on your dashboard barely moves for months. That flat stretch isn't proof the model is broken. It's the compounding curve doing exactly what compounding curves do before the bend arrives. And if you quit or panic pivot during it, you cash out at the exact moment the return was closest. Why flat isn't the same as failing? Linear thinking says, I did X amount of work, I should see X amount of result proportionally every week. Compounding growth doesn't work that way, and almost nothing that actually builds wealth or an audience does either. Interest compounds. Word of mouth compounds. An email list compounds. A back catalog of digital products compounds. All of these have the same signature. Small, boring, near invisible gains for a long stretch, followed by a bend that looks sudden from the outside, but was seeded months earlier. If you plotted a creator's actual monthly revenue against a smooth exponential curve, the first 70% of the timeline looks almost flat on a normal chart. It's only once you're past the knee of the curve that the growth becomes visually obvious. That's not a flaw in the model. That's what the model looks like at low altitude. The catch is that a flat compounding curve and a flat dead end look identical for a while. That's the uncomfortable part. There is no dashboard number that distinguishes this is about to bend from this was never going to work. Not in month 2, and often not in month 6 either. Which is exactly why so many genuinely good creator businesses get abandoned right before the inflection. The founder can't tell the difference from inside the flat part, panics, and pivots to a new idea that resets the clock back to 0. The math underneath the metaphor. At 5% monthly compounding growth, month 1 to month 12 looks almost flat to the eye. Roughly 1. 0.5x to 1. 8x. Month 13 to 24, the same 5% rate takes you from 8x to roughly 3. 2x. Same effort, same rate, wildly different visible outcome, purely because of where you are on the curve. What's actually compounding while nothing looks like it's happening? During a flat stretch, several things are usually accumulating even though revenue isn't. The size of your email list, which converts on a lag not in real time. The depth of your product catalog, each new digital download, template, or course module is inventory that keeps selling long after you made it once. Search and social discovery of old posts. A piece of content can start getting found 9 months after you published it. And plain trust. The number of people who've seen your name enough times to stop scrolling past it. None of these show up as revenue on day 1. All of them show up as revenue eventually, and usually all at once, which is what makes the eventual bend feel sudden. This is also why a genuinely useful lead magnet or a low-cost first product matters more than its price tag suggests. It's not really a revenue line, it's a root system. Every person who downloads a free guide or buys a $9 template is now inside your world, on your list, one email away from your next launch. If you haven't set that up yet, this is the single highest leverage move available during a flat stretch. Create your store, publish one free or cheap entry product, and let it quietly compound in the background while you keep shipping. Telling a real plateau from a latent one. Not every flat stretch is a compounding curve in disguise. Some flat stretches really are dead ends, and pretending otherwise is its own trap. The difference usually isn't in the revenue number itself, it's in the leading indicators sitting just beneath it. If most of your signals sit in the left column, you're very likely in the flat part of a compounding curve, not a failed one. The uncomfortable but useful move is to keep the inputs constant, same offer, same audience, same posting rhythm, for another full quarter before concluding anything. If most of your signals sit in the right column, that's real information, and it's worth revisiting your offer or your pricing rather than waiting on a bend that isn't coming. The plant doesn't know it's about to grow 90 feet. It just keeps doing the boring underground thing on schedule every single day. What to actually do during the flat stretch? Waiting isn't a strategy on its own. The flat phase is exactly when the boring mechanical stuff matters most, because it's cheap to do, and it's the thing quietly compounding underneath everything else. A few concrete moves in rough order of leverage. Ship one new product or offer variant, even a small one. Inventory that compounds is worth more right now than a bigger marketing push on the one thing you already have. Send a broadcast email to your existing customer and lead list at least monthly. This is the fastest compounding asset you own, and it decays if it's silent. Fix friction, not volume. A confusing checkout or slow delivery taxes every single sale you do get. At exactly the moment you can least afford to lose any. Resist the full pivot. Changing your niche, product, or platform every few weeks resets your compounding clock back to month one. Every time, set a real reevaluation date, like 90 days out, instead of judging week to week. Most compounding curves need a quarter, not a week, to show a visible bend. I've published or updated at least one product in the last 30 days. I've emailed my list or customers in the last 30 days. I've tested my own checkout end-to-end recently, and it's fast and frictionless. I haven't changed my core offer or niche in the last 90 days. I have a specific date set to properly reevaluate, not a vague feeling of, if this doesn't work soon. Where store.fan carries the compounding for you. A lot of the flat stretch discipline above is easier when the mechanical parts run themselves instead of eating your attention. A store.fan storefront keeps every digital download, course, coaching call, or membership live and sellable on one link. So a product you built in month 1 is still quietly compounding in month 8 without you touching it again. The built-in customer list and broadcast emails mean the audience you're accumulating during the flat stretch is actually reachable, not scattered across screenshots and spreadsheets. Instant automatic delivery and one-click Stripe or PayPal checkout mean the friction column in that table above is handled. So a bend in traffic converts cleanly instead of leaking out through a clunky buy flow. And because paid plans carry 0% platform fees, the revenue that does show up when the curve bends is yours, not shaved down by the platform that hosted the wait. A concrete gut check. If your list has grown even 10% over the last quarter, while revenue looked flat, you are very likely mid-compound, not stuck. That's the root system doing its job. If you want to see the mechanics of a store that's clearly past its own bend, a live example store shows a full catalog, tiers, and repeat buyer systems running together. And if you're weighing whether the free plan or pro plan fits where you are right now, that's exactly the kind of decision worth getting right before the flat stretch, not after. Key takeaways. Compounding growth is mathematically flat-looking for a long stretch before it visibly bends upward. This isn't a metaphor. It's how the curve is shaped. Most creators quit or overhaul their entire strategy during the flat phase. Right before the inflection they were building toward the flat phase is where distribution, trust, and inventory compound quietly. Followers who haven't bought yet, content that hasn't resurfaced yet, a store that isn't finished yet. You can't tell from the outside whether you're in a real plateau, dead strategy, or a latent one, compounding strategy. But a few concrete signals help you tell them apart. The fix isn't more hustle. It's protecting the inputs that compound: email list, product catalog, consistency, long enough for the curve to bend. Start your creator store free at store.fan.